Hi there, good morning, good afternoon, or good night to you guys. My name is Mitch and I am an alcoholic, and I have your daily reflections for June 7th. This comes from the Daily Reflections book, a book of reflections for Alcoholics Anonymous members, by Alcoholics Anonymous members, also Narcotics Anonymous, and a lot of other things if you choose to do so or use it for that. Today's is called Long-Term Hope. Since most of us are born with an abundance of natural desires, it isn't strange that we often let these far exceed their intended purpose. When they drive us blindly, or we willfully demand that they supply us with more satisfactions or pleasures than are possible or due us, that is the point at which we depart from the degree of perfection that God wishes for us here on earth. That is the measure of our character defects, or, if you wish, of our sins. 12 Steps and 12 Traditions, page 65. And it continues. This is where long-term hope is born and perspective is gained, both of the nature of my illness and the path of my recovery. The beauty of AA lies in knowing that my life, with God's help, will improve. The AA journey, with God's help, will improve. The AA journey becomes richer, the understanding becomes truth, the dreams become realities, and today becomes forever. As I step into the AA light, my heart fills with the presence of God. This is a great one. This one, it's so true I take it as in our selfishness and our selfish desires, kind of like we're born with sin. We all, whatever religion you want to look at or however it is, we're all born with these sins and these guilty pleasures and these addictive personalities, whether it be with drugs, alcohol, sex, anything that takes up too much of our time just to get a feeling of a high from it. We can turn anything into an addictive thing. Some are better than others, but I don't believe that's what God was here for, and that's what they're saying. But the longer that we're into it, like it says, the A journey becomes richer, the understanding becomes truth, the dreams become realities, and today becomes forever. That just makes me think of the promises from the big book. Promise number 1, if we're painstaking about this phase of our development, we will be amazed before we are halfway through. And you do start to notice this. Anyone can tell you that. Even if it's your first, second, third day of not using or drinking, you notice a difference, and that's just the way it is. And it's where you go. It's how you continue from there that really matters. I like number 4 in the promises as well. It's no matter how far down the scale we have gone, it doesn't matter. I have a friend that had just relapsed, and you just don't do it again. That's all there is to it. You messed up, we all do it. It doesn't matter the things you've done. There's certain things, obviously, that we don't need to talk about that, are just not forgivable. Not by any humans on earth, I don't think. But, we've done some bad stuff in our addiction. We've done some mean things to people, and we treat people like crap sometimes, and it's like we forget to remember, is that how we want to be treated? What if someone treated you like the way you've treated them? Would you be a fan of that person? Most likely not. The feeling of uselessness and self-pity will disappear. How depressed I used to be, and I'm sure a lot of us are. Self-pity also, meaning like, feel sorry for me, woe is me, I can't believe this happened to me, I lost this job because I was mistreated or they did something to me. That just happens. That's life. It happens to everyone, not just you, not just an alcoholic. And that's where our selfishness comes into play, where we sit there and try to make everything all about us. It's all about us, right? This happened to me, that's why I had to do that, instead of just understanding this happens to everyone. So that will disappear, and you'll start to realize, wait, why am I getting so upset about this? This is nothing new to other people. Also, we got number 7, we will lose interest in selfish things and gain interest in our fellows. And that's a great one, because that's how I feel right now. I love doing these videos, and I just want to help people. And life is hard and can get very busy, and I've noticed myself being spread out pretty good lately with everything I have going on in my own life, yet I want to keep helping people. It's pretty tough, but it keeps me sober and it keeps me busy, and that's very important. Also, we got number 9 on the promises, which is our whole attitude and outlook upon life will change. Very true. Just like I was saying, we have these bad things that will still happen, but it all depends on our perspective and how we're going to choose to look at that. How are we going to grow from this problem? Instead of just sulking in some depression and misery and trying to make excuses of why this is messed up and this happened to me, blah, blah, blah. We just got to go with the flow, roll with the punches, as they say, so we can all learn from these. Again, like I said yesterday, there's a feeling of satisfaction that we get from solving a problem. So when these problems come our way, we should try to embrace them and be like, okay, this is actually going to make me a stronger person. And we don't need to tell everyone about our problems. That's another thing I was just thinking about this morning. It's like, why do we have to tell people our problems? I think there's a feeling better if we can just get through it alone and with our higher power, and we could figure things out on our own, because not everyone is out for your best interest, and I think it's good to sometimes keep a few things close to the chest, because some people can be a little sketchy, but that's what a good sponsor's for. Also, we got fear of people and economic insecurity will leave us. I love that one. I feel like I'm doing very well right now. I'm doing well financially. I still have some issues coming up, legal issues, which I will be addressing. And, it's all good. And I know it's going to be fine. It's nothing that's going to make me want to go do anything again. In fact, this is probably one of the main reasons I will never do anything again. And I'm very lucky to even have the opportunity to be here talking to you right now. But the money part, I'm coming to understand too, that life to me is worth more than money. Someone recently asked me what I wanted for my birthday, and I had to sit there and think about it. And I'm like, I don't need anything. I don't want anything. I had the things that I love. I have my guitar and my paintbrushes and my skateboard and my books, and I have these videos I get to do. I have meetings, and I have a roof over my head. I have money to help with my children, my 2 daughters, which are the most important things to me. And I have those which are all I need right now. I don't need anything else. And it was a cool feeling to think about, like, what do I need? I have money in my bank. I'm not rich by any means, but I have enough. I have certainly more than what I had when I was out drinking all the time. And I know I wouldn't have any of this right now. And it feels good to be that way. So these are things you notice the further you get into the program. These things will start happening. I mean, you're not out wasting money on stupid things. And I do find myself on Amazon sometimes buying random things that I think I need, like a new lamp or something, but it's nothing compared to spending $120 at a bar in one night. Also, we got number 11. We will intuitively know how to handle situations which used to baffle us. Another one, very baffling. There's very baffling moments in life right now in our society, which I'm not going to get into, but things will always baffle us. Like, how can someone be that way? I don't quite get it. But that's just the things we start to realize the older we get. It doesn't make them bad. It makes some people just not the same, which is normal, It is a scary feeling sometimes, though, and a blessing and a curse in the same sense, because you feel like you see things now in a way different way, and you just want other people to see them in that way, but you can never force something onto someone to feel or see something in the same way you see it. Whether you think it's good or not, that's your own opinion. But there are certain things where it's like, man, that baffles me. Just like they say, alcohol is cunning, baffling, and powerful. I was speaking to another friend, and she had a friend who had relapsed, and he found $1,200. And I was worried when I heard this. I'm like, oh, that's not good for a guy in recovery. Well, he's going to go. First, it sounded shady. Found $1,200 in an envelope. And I'm like, that sounds weird. Next, and he's going to go get an apartment. And I'm like, this is super not good. He's a fresh alcoholic, drug addict, looking at serious time in jail. but he has this chance to stay sober, figure this out. Just found $1,200. Not good. Of course, he relapsed. He went out and he gave in to the cunning and baffling part of this disease, which is he's choosing these little moments of time to be drunk and high over the outcome of what could be if he just stops now. And I'm not sure if he has children or anything, but even if you don't have anything like that, isn't your own life something worth living for? And that's what baffles me, that people would choose, like, even just one time, like, I'm going to go get drunk for 5 hours. You're going to throw everything away. You will end up in prison for years over those few hours of a buzz, which isn't going to even be fun. It's going to be shitty. Sorry for cussing. It's just going to suck. You're going to be sitting there with anxiety drinking. I've done it. Where you're like, I've quit before. I know I'm an alcoholic. I shouldn't be doing this. Yet there I am at the bar drinking. Not even fun anymore. And why am I doing this? Why am I here? And that's where they're like, this is cunning and baffling and very, very powerful. And last but not least, my favorite one, we will suddenly realize that God is doing for us what we could not do for ourselves. And wow, how much I love this. For those that do not believe in God, keep looking, keep trying, analyze situations in your life. I mean, how smart are we to assume that we know how everything started? I'm sorry, that's pretty egotistical and that's pretty scary, and your chances of getting this program not very, very good in my opinion, because to think it was just a bunch of molecules that popped together that made this, and that's us sitting here right now listening to this, is very, very possible, I guess, but also very not possible. So I think you need to take time to sit and meditate and evaluate your life a little bit, and look for that spiritual awakening, which will happen. Because it happened for me, and it's happening daily for me. I'm still looking at certain situations where I'm like, oh my gosh, is this odd or is this God? And so many of them in my past, even, it was God. There is something that cares for us, that created us, and that is where we get our intuition, we get our feelings from. It's our feelings. Let's think about it. I mean, we feel guilt when we do something bad. We carry that guilt around with us. It affects us physically. That is just something very powerful to me. So we can't hide from ourselves. So I don't know how I got into that, but I'm just saying there's something special. There is something very special about all of us, and carrying any sort of guilt and all that around with you is not good. But there is a way out, and that is through AA and a conscious contact with a higher power, or your own. You could find your own, agnostics and all that. That's good as well. I'm not saying anything like you have to find religion or anything, but also just know it does get better the longer you're in it. Each day is good. You'll have a good day, you'll have a bad day. The fact is you're feeling anyway. You're feeling those days. You're not trying to numb those bad days out with alcohol. You're not going to numb away those good days with alcohol. We all know where it leads to, and for certain people like us, it's just going to lead to misery. There's just no way around it. We've tried it too many times to think there will be a different outcome. There won't be a different outcome, and that can be depressing sometimes. Like they say, I can find myself being jealous of normies that can drink, on these nice days, and I'm just like, man. But then it's like, what's it gonna do? Nothing. I won't even enjoy it anymore. It was all fun until it wasn't. Anyway, that's all I got for today. Wow, 14 minutes long. I hope you guys have a good day and had a safe weekend, and you enjoy this time with your loved ones, and let's keep everyone in the world in our prayers that we can figure out this problem that is drastically escalating, and I think we can all figure something out if we all connect. We can all figure anything out. We don't need any hatred or any of that stuff. And please give me a subscribe and share this channel with any of your friends that possibly need some help. I just want to help people. That's all there is. And it would mean a lot to me in my recovery if you could share this channel with some people so I can get some more subscribers and get comments and I could reach back out to people, because I know it helps me. I have some channels that I follow, and this is really, really good in this time of lockdown, and meetings are kind of hard to go to because some people are scared still of the coronavirus. And this is a good time for all of us to talk. So I hope you guys have a wonderful day. I love you all. Remember, one day at a time, and peace out.